Alright, so here's the cheese bread after sitting in the refrigerator overnight. And you can see that the texture has changed a lot. It's very malleable. You can make it into little balls just by working it a little bit with your hand. So this is kind of on the smaller side for the cheese bread. Well, it's a little bit small, but I'm going to make a lot of them for later today. So basically, I have a teaspoon or a tablespoon, make the little balls and line them up on your baking pan. But you want to butter the pan, get it nice and greased up with butter. I don't use oil or spray oil, I find butter works the best. And set your oven to 350, make sure it's preheated very well and the temperature is not changing at all. So 350 is a good temperature, and it's going to take, depending on the size of the ball that you make, between 40 minutes to an hour. Usually about 45 to 50 minutes. So I'm just going to start making little balls, try and make them all the same size, and fill up my trays. And then I'll put them in the oven, and then we'll see how they come out. After you put them in the oven, I'd check on them at like 5 minutes in the oven, because sometimes they slide around a bit on the butter. So if that happens, then you kind of got to pull out the baking sheet out of the oven and separate them a little bit, because you don't want it, if they slide all together, they don't cook and it just makes like a big lump. So you want to make sure that they don't slide together. Alright. So here are my two trays with all the cheese breads lined up on them. This is about half the dough that I made. The rest of it, I'm just going to do the exact same thing on some wax paper and then put that in the freezer and freeze the rest of the cheese balls, and then after they're frozen, put them in a bag in the freezer, and then you can use them whenever you want. So you don't have to make the whole batch and then use it at once. You can freeze it and then have them, you know, next week, a couple of weeks away. But the dough itself, you know, it's good in the refrigerator for up to like 3 or 4 days. So my oven's set at 350, so we'll open it up, put our cheese bread in. Just make sure they're in the middle. Okay. There we go. So I'll check on them in about 5 minutes just to make sure they're not sliding around. But I don't think they will be, because they're nice and solid, because I left them in the fridge overnight. Alright, so they've been in there about 55 minutes. And I think they're done. They could probably stay in a little longer, but I don't want the bottoms to burn. So I think they're perfect. Just like this. You can see I had to separate these ones a little bit so they're like a little deformed there, but yeah, these came out nice. So it's best to eat them straight out of the oven like this. You can either cut it open with a knife, put a little piece of pork in there, or some of our other friends like to make some little Turkish hamburgers. We make like mini sliders out of them. So it's really, really delicious bread. I guess we'll try and open one up so see what they look like on the inside. Yeah, see, that's good. That's yummy. Hot. Ooh. Very good. Alright. Success. Alright, so this is a couple hours later, maybe like 5 hours. I put these in the freezer. This is the rest of that batch. So I'm just gonna, see, they're pretty hard. So I'm just gonna take them, put them in a plastic bag, and I'm gonna use these, you know, later this week. But they're good for, I think, I'd say a couple of weeks, as long as your bag is sealed, right? A couple of weeks, I'd say. So then you just grease the pan, put them on your pan again, right over here, in your oven, and it's about 45 minutes to an hour, probably 45 minutes. And now you got more cheese bread. Over and out.